All right, so here's a new one for me. I was asked to do a video on this topic that I was planning on doing anyway, which is Anthony Mackie putting his foot in his mouth again. For those who, some of you might remember that during the Falcon and Winter Soldier, somebody asked him or something. Let me just move this a little more. Somebody asked him about his Sam's relationship with Bucky, because I guess there were apparently people who were, um, well, there were definitely people questioning Bucky's sexuality, that he was probably bisexual because of the line about, I think it was tigers or bears or something in the photos, but in social media, in dating apps. And Anthony Mackie took great exception that, that they're just friends, that it's all right for friends to guys to have friends and hang out. But he put it in such a way that made it super homophobic. Like, you don't see guys being friends anymore, that type of deal. So now he's gone and done it again. And this time he clarified his comments, and I just don't see it as any kind of a clarification. A defense of his comments, maybe, but not a clarification. But anyway, let's get to the article. Anthony Mackie clarifies his viral Captain America comment, "I'm a proud American." Now, like I said, somebody had asked me to do this video, but I had just seen in my email this article, so at that point I still had no idea what exactly is going on. And then I read what he said, and I'm like, I think I understand what he meant, but his clarification wasn't a clarification. "I'm a proud American" is not a clarification to those comments. Anyway, let's get to the article. Anthony Mackie has clarified earlier remarks about the ethos of Captain America that some on the internet took issue with. "Let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime," Mackie wrote on Instagram stories Tuesday, which doesn't say anything about his comments. "I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has a universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to," which is what he was trying to say, and said horribly bad in his presser in Italy. It's like, why not just say that? Why make it say it in the most awkward way possible? But anyway, the statement comes from earlier comments trended online on Monday and Tuesday. All right. And this is what he said, which, like I said, reading the comment, I totally got what he was trying to say. He just said it in the absolute worst way possible. "To me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations," Mackie said while on stage in Rome to promote Disney's upcoming Captain America Brave New World. The 1-minute clip of the interview was filmed and posted by several attendees online. Okay. Now, I get what he was trying to say, and I saw further comments. But that part about, I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. I think what he is trying to get at is that, like Superman, who he just kept the fighting for truth and justice. He dropped the American way because he doesn't see himself as just a citizen of one country. He is a defender of the world. And to say the American way implies that America is superior to all other countries. No, it's perfectly fine for citizens to think that they're superior. Look at our current government. But it's entirely different to insist that everyone must think that. So I'm pretty sure he's trying to get at, personally, it's number one, a dig at what's happening right now. And number two, that, and oddly enough, if he were to say that under a Democratic president, nobody would probably bat an eye. But because this is done under Republican president, oh my God. But, because that has happened before. So yeah, I think he's seeing Captain America as more of a universal figure, like he clarified. That's the only part of the comment that was a clarification. The rest is like, that doesn't tell us anything. But the part about, I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. On the one hand, is a dig as to what's happening in the country, but at the same time, I can see why people see it as anti-American. And so yeah, just if he just said, he's a universal character and these are characteristics that all of humanity embodies. It's not just one country that can lay claim to that. That would have been fine, but to say this again, I think that was a dig on the current administration, because they don't embody anything that Captain America does embody. So on that front, I get it. But at the same time, no. I can see why people have a problem with it. It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity, Mackie continued. Someone who is trustworthy and dependable. And again, those are universal characteristics, which he later clarified is a universal truth. And I think that was a dig on the current administration. Unfortunately, like I said, he picked the absolute worst way of getting that point across. Because you don't have to say America is not a representation of that. You can out and out say it's the Trump administration. You can just say the government. You can say that not everybody in America ascribes to these qualities. There's so many ways that you can carve it out so you're not damning an entire country. And actually, since America encompasses North America, Central America, and South America, then you're really stretching things. Clips of Mackie's comments online didn't reveal the exact question the actor was answering, and the Hollywood Reporter reached out to Marvel and Mackie for further clarification. Marvel's Italian social media account posted clips of the actor's interviews, but cut the sentence about the superhero not representing America. The edited version reads, "For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, someone who is trustworthy and dependable." And he so should have left it at that. He should not have said that America is not a representation of what he is, because if for no other reason, it's in the name. He's Captain America. So yes, he certainly has universal qualities. This is not just an embodiment of one country. which, let's face it, he was created as propaganda during World War II. So it's not, so there's a reason why he's Captain America. It's not because of how we look at the character today. It's because they were trying to promote how great the country is, because they're trying to invoke patriotism in the midst of World War II. So obviously, Captain America doesn't embody the same symbolism as it once did. But still, he is Captain America. So, yeah, mention that he's a universal hero now, mention his qualities. You don't have to go after the entire country. Not necessary. And now that's totally not what he was trying to do. I think he was trying to point out that the current administration especially, but many in the country, don't embody this, and that it's not a universal among Americans. But he could have, like I said, could have picked a way better way of saying it. Brave New World is Marvel's first Captain America film after Chris Evans' Steve Rogers passed the torch to Mackie's Sam Wilson at the end of Avengers Endgame in 2019. In between, Mackie's Disney Plus show The Falcon and the Winter Soldier premiered in 2021 and grappled with the complicated notion of what it meant for a black man to don the mantle of Captain America. And I'm sure that was a part of his America isn't the word that should be used to represent the character because of that complication. And again, totally understandable, totally makes sense. Still, you could have, expressed it better. I mean, great for the clarification that you meant that Cap is a universal character, that he's more like Superman in the sense that he doesn't just fight for one country. He did at first, but now he fights for everybody who needs a superhero. But again, could have been phrased better. In a separate interview this week, Mackie said, "I feel like it's important for black kids to see a black Captain America as it is for white kids to see a black Captain America. Growing up, my favorite hero was green." So, Martian Manhunter? So it wasn't about race or anything. It was about him being a good guy trying to do the right thing. So, totally Martian Manhunter. Unless there is a green Marvel character that I'm just blanking on. Mackie said in the previously mentioned interview that the film, set to release on Valentine's Day, was a dream coming true. So that is the end of that article. And, unfortunately, I'm not familiar with his other work outside of Marvel, and if he's done other pressers that have come back to bite him in the butt. But, maybe he should... Obviously, someone's going to ask him about... I assume that this was about how he sees Captain America and what words he would use to describe it or whatever. These are questions that you're going to get, or some variation of, what Captain America means to you, blah, blah, blah. It's sort of like a job interview. You're going to get the same old questions, just maybe phrased in different ways. So you really should have an idea of how you're going to answer them. And when you're going on a tour for a project, you should probably have some basics written down. And this is coming from someone who does these videos completely off the cuff. But if you're going to do a presser and you're going to be promoting a project, especially a project that isn't wholly yours. I mean, it's, in this case, it's Disney. It's a Disney Studios. It's a Marvel Studios production. You might want to make sure that you don't say anything really embarrassing and really mind-numbingly stupid. Because again, if he left out the America part or further explained that comment, why he doesn't think America is a good representation of the qualities that Captain America has, which kind of contradicts the name, but okay. To give you an understanding of where he's coming from, like, it's because of the racism issue, or it's because of the incoming administration, because I don't know when this interview was done. I assume it was already post-Trump. So there are ways to answer that question, even mention that comment while clarifying what you mean when you say that, so people don't get the wrong impression that you're shitting on the country, whereas you're being more nuanced. You understand that not everybody in America values these traits, and it's not only in America that these traits are valued. So there's so many ways he could have done that better, but like the first time, I don't think he is homophobic. I don't think he's anti-American in this case. He just really did a bad job of explaining himself. Because the clarification that Cap is a universal character, that's great. You can say that America is too narrow of a word to describe him, that he's a worldwide figure, he's a universal figure. That would have been fine. But to say that America is not a word you would use to represent him when that's literally his name, that just doesn't go over well. So anyway, I think that is all I have for this video. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.